Picture a crowded construction site at sunrise. Metal echoes, drills scream, and in the middle of this chaos is Adrian, a project supervisor known for his calm. But that calm is about to break. He's giving orders, blueprints in hand, when suddenly Marcus, the new guy, deliberately flicks a cigarette into fresh concrete. Marcus has been trying to get under Adrian's skin for days. Subtle jabs, tiny provocations. Today, he wants a reaction. Adrian's jaw tightens. His fingers tremble. He's seconds from snapping. But this isn't a story about anger. It's about what happens when you discover a deeper strength, one that comes from mastering your inner world, not from yelling or fighting. If you've ever felt someone pushing your buttons, stay with me. This story might just be what you need to hear. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe for more. Even his mother noticed. Honey, you seem tense. Everything okay at work? He just shrugged and said it was fine, but inside, he wasn't. He was so tired of swallowing disrespect. That morning, staring at a cigarette someone had shoved into wet concrete, something inside him whispered, "React, just this once." He stepped forward. "Marcus, why did you do that?" Marcus just shrugged. "Relax, boss. It's just a cigarette." A few workers chuckled. Adrian was about to finally snap, but then he remembered his grandfather's voice. A man who reacts is a man who is controlled. A man who chooses his response is a man who's free. Marcus pushed closer, trying to get a rise out of him. "What's wrong, boss? Cat got your tongue?" Just as Adrian was about to break, a voice cut in. "Adrian, with me!" It was Elias, the senior manager. Inside the office, Elias looked at him. "You think reacting makes you stronger? It doesn't. It just proves the other man owns your emotions. Have you ever felt like someone else was pulling your strings? Like their words or actions could just push a button and make you react exactly how they wanted? You get angry, you get defensive, you get upset. It feels powerful in the moment to lash out. But what if I told you that's the weakest thing you can do? There's a great story about a young man named Adrian who was always getting into conflicts. He was quick to anger, always ready to prove himself. An older, wiser man named Elias told him something that changed his life. He said, "Anyone can push buttons, but only a weak man dances when someone else plays the tune. You want power? Real power? Stop letting people write your reactions for you." Think about that for a second. When you react instantly to a provocation, who's really in control? Is it you? Or is it the person who knew exactly what to say to set you off? Elias shared a personal story. He said, "I once punched a man who provoked me. Thought it made me tough. It actually proved I had no control." That's a profound shift in perspective. True strength isn't about the loudest roar. It's about the quiet confidence to not need to roar at all. Adrian realized he was tired of being controlled by other people's immaturity, by their drama, by their own insecurities. He wanted to be the one in charge of his own feelings. Elias pointed to his head and said, "Start here, control your mind, and no one can control you." If this idea is already hitting home for you, if you feel a spark of recognition, do something for yourself right now. Click that like button. This isn't for my channel's algorithm, it's for yours, your brain's algorithm. When you actively engage with content that empowers you, you're sending a signal to your own mind that this is important. You're reinforcing the very mindset you want to build. So go ahead, tap like to solidify this commitment to your own emotional power. Ready? Let's talk about how Adrian did it. It wasn't magic. It was training. The very next day, he started a practice Elias called the pause. It's incredibly simple but unbelievably difficult at first. Whenever he felt that familiar surge of anger or frustration, whenever he felt triggered, he forced himself not to respond for 3 seconds. Just 3. In those 3 seconds, he would just breathe. He would feel the emotion rise up like a wave, watch it crest, and then feel it begin to fade. Those first few days were torture. His entire being screamed at him to react, to argue, to defend himself. 3 seconds felt like an eternity, but he stuck with it. By day 10, something amazing happened. Those 3 seconds no longer felt like a cage. They felt like armor. He had created a small space between the trigger and his response. A space where he could think. By day 20, That space felt like a superpower. He could watch the world happen around him without being immediately sucked into its chaos. The next step in his training was reframing. This is a mental game changer. Whenever someone tried to get a rise out of him, instead of hearing their words as an attack, he would tell himself a different story. He would repeat a simple mantra in his head. This is a test, not a threat. This is a test of my patience, a test of my control, a test of my new superpower. By reframing the situation, he removed the personal sting. It wasn't about him anymore. It was about them. And suddenly, he started to see things he'd never noticed before. He saw the deep insecurity behind his rival Marcus's constant taunts. He saw the boredom in his co-workers who just wanted to stir up drama to pass the time. He saw that his silence, his calm, made Marcus more frustrated and powerless than any shouting match ever could. He stopped taking things personally because he realized most of the time it wasn't personal. It was a reflection of their own internal state. And that's when he began to feel real, authentic power building inside him. Not the loud, brittle power of a quick temper, but the quiet, unshakable power of a calm mind. The ultimate test came one morning at work. A co-worker, rushing and not paying attention, accidentally spilled a cup of hot coffee all over Adrian's shirt. The old Adrian would have exploded. He would have yelled, cursed, and made a huge scene. The entire office would have stopped to watch the drama unfold. But this was the new Adrian. The trigger happened. The hot coffee, the shock, the ruined shirt. But then, the training kicked in. He paused. He took a deep breath. The anger rose, peaked, and began to recede in those 3 seconds of armor. He reframed it. This is a test, not a threat. He looked at his co-worker's horrified face and said, completely calmly, "It's okay, accidents happen." The co-worker was stunned. He just blinked and said, "Man, I'm so sorry. I would have freaked out if someone did that to me." Adrian just smiled a small, genuine smile. "I used to." That's the difference. That is real power. It's the freedom to choose your response. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing that no one can make you feel or act a certain way unless you allow them to. You are the one who decides. So, I challenge you today. Try the pause. The next time you feel triggered, whether it's by a comment online, a driver on the road, or a family member who knows just how to push your buttons, just stop. For 3 seconds, breathe. Create that space. And in that space, ask yourself, who do I want to be in this moment? Do I want to be the puppet or the one holding the strings? This journey isn't easy, but it is the most rewarding one you will ever take. It's the path to true self-mastery. Thanks for watching. If this helped you, consider subscribing for more content on building a stronger mind and a more powerful life. See you in the next one.